Joe McGruff, happy birthday, Houston. Stoked you made a short clip of my moon question. I'm not anti-double impact origin, just extremely inquisitorial. Why haven't we explored the moon's dark side? Could we spin it? It would take a lot of energy to spin the moon, more than we could probably ever produce as a planet. It's tidally locked, so its face will be facing us at all times. The reason why we haven't explored the dark side of the moon is because it's scary. So we have the Chinese put a little rover on the dark side of the moon, which is dead now, although they haven't announced it, but it hasn't moved in like a year and a half. What we need around the moon is a communication system so that we have satellites that are at certain orbits around the moon that can broadcast information back to the Earth that are relayed from the surface on the dark side. It's because it's radio blackout on the dark side of the moon because we don't have any relay stations. So it's going to be very expensive to set up enough satellites around the moon to make exploring the dark side at this point feasible. It's much easier, much safer for astronauts to be on the near side, on the face that faces us, than it is to go on the dark side. We've mapped it. We've got pictures and things like that. It's just that when objects go on the other side of the moon, it's radio silent for that period of time. Trip McGruff, I would totally volunteer to be on the first moon settlement. I'm so over everything that's just going on here on Terra. I'm just so over it. So if you know anyone, help hook that up. Do me a solid, please. I would suggest that if there is going to be settlements on the moon, that we probably should negotiate in international court about limiting the amount of time people spend on the moon. So like, I don't know, 3 months over the course of their entire life and no more than 6 weeks at a time. Simply because what it does to you physiologically is you can't bounce back from it. The amount of bone density you lose, the muscle atrophy, the swelling in the brain, all sorts of stuff that can happen in those low gravity environments. That if you do get back to Earth, it takes so much physical therapy to get over, like, the handicap you have from that low gravity environment, and you're just getting bombarded by galactic cosmic rays all day long too. So it's not the best place to go spend the rest of your days, unless you intend your rest of your days to not be that long, and full of like mutating cancers and stuff. So plus, historical analogy, you know, if we're using the moon for resources, we're using it to get helium-3 creep, which is potassium, rare earth elements, and phosphorus. If we're using it to get that stuff out of the surface of the moon and sending it back to the Earth to be used, if there's multiple generations growing up on the moon, they're going to start to resent the colonizers, which are the humans, and they're going to see themselves as separate from humanity, and they're going to say, why are we sending all this crap? We're getting the short end of the stick, screw you, and we're going to have a Earth-Moon war, just like we had every other war between colonizers and the colonists we've ever seen. And so you just can't make multiple generations on the moon. That's just it. You just short term. That's how it's got to roll.